Hi there, my name's Roslyn Hill, and I'm really excited about going to Yarndale this year. I've always wanted to go, and this year I've been accepted as an exhibitor, so I'm going to share with you in a short video just what it is I'm going to be doing. I've been learning a lot about how to make it easier for me to teach how to do crochet. So that's what it's all about for me this year. So start off with a learning bracelet, which is really easy. The white part of this is just a chain, okay, and it's got another part to it here where it's just attached with a slip stitch. I call these little parts bridges because they make little bridges which you can actually hook underneath, and that can be easily made bigger to make a nice headband, quite topical, a rainbow headband. Okay, this idea of doing little bridges means you only need to do 2 stitches to make something, and this is my Granny Ross square. Sometimes I get referred to as Granny Ross as well as Roslyn. So this is my Granny Ross square, which has only got 2 stitches, and that's chain and slip stitch. Okay, you can also make a granny square like this, a Granny Ross square of course, and it's got just chain and slip stitch but in different colours. Now if you carry on from there, because there's only 2 stitches, you could make something like this, and this has only got 2 stitches in it. This is my big face. You wouldn't believe it, you would think it was really complicated, but it's easy, and this is what it's all about. It's about making things easier to do. Okay, this is a little purse that I made, and again, that's just 2 stitches. In this instance, it used to be called arches, but I discovered that this is how it used to be called many years ago, so I can go into that later. Okay, so one of the stitches that I use a lot and I found that was so easy was Tunisian simple stitch. This piece here shows the two stitches that I was talking about earlier. That's all there is in there, the chain and slip stitch, apart from the roofs, and the roofs are done with Tunisian simple stitch. When I discovered Tunisian simple stitch, I used to teach in schools, and when I discovered Tunisian simple stitch, I found that it was so much easier to do. Just you got no stitches to drop like you do when you're doing knitting. So this is my learning bracelet, and it's done with Tunisian simple stitch. So that's one of the first things that you can learn. It's just cast on, cast off. This is Tunisian simple stitch, which are really pretty to do, especially if you do it with variegated yarn, which I teach. Another of my basic stitches is the rug stitch, which is this one here. Here we've got the Tunisian simple stitch, and I've done some rug stitch on top of it. So it's hugely to do with fibre art rather than making cardigans and things like that. So here we go. Another way that I found is, rather than making a swatch, we can do some learning bracelets. This is an ordinary bracelet. This is a bumpy bracelet with a bit on it. Here we've got a teardrop bracelet, a leaf bracelet, another leaf drop with a teardrop, and this one's one of my favourites, is the bullion bracelet. And here we've got a leaf bracelet with a bullion on the end. I also do flowers. You might say, look at me wearing this around my neck, but this is so easy to do. This flower here is just chain and slip stitch. So when making a chain, the next thing you can actually do is to make a flower. And I do a lot of flowers. This is one that shows you, look, with the learning bracelet part of it there. Okay, let's move on quickly and show you the flowers that we make. Here we go. The part of this is the learning bracelets. That's just chain and slip stitch here, and this on the end, but of course you can add the bullion if you want on the end of here. So that's a very simple, easy brooch to make. So do that. There's another one, look. And I finish off, my sort of trademark is not to finish off the ends but to plait them in like that. So that's that. And now we're talking about how I teach in an experimental way. I have written a book about this, and in here in my book it tells you about these latch patches here. Okay, so these are the latch patches which I can show you. It's just done with variegated yarn, and you can hook it anywhere. There are options which are shown in my book, and just by making all these little latch patches which don't look anything, they're just little experiments, and hooking in anywhere, it tells you what to do. But then if you turn them round and put some eyes on them, they can look like something a little bit more interesting, even a brooch that you could wear. So that's another way that I make things easier, by experimenting. Okay. Now, a lot of what I do is freeform crochet, which is without a pattern. As you've seen, all the things that you've seen so far, there's no pattern to it. But one of my basic stitches is this one, which you see a lot in what we call freeform crochet, and it features this particular piece. It features the bullion stitch. Now I call this a latch patch. Okay, I call it a latch patch because it's done with a latch hook, and I teach latch hook crochet. My book is called Latch Hook Crochet for Beginners, and I teach latch hook crochet to beginners because it's easier to do than it is with an ordinary hook. I've been using a latch hook for about 4 years now. Occasionally I'll pick up a traditional hook, but most of the time I don't. And this stitch here is so easy to do with a latch hook. So that is one of my basic stitches, the bullion stitch. This is bullion block stitch that you can see in this freeform crochet latch patch. Okay, it's not formally known as a scrumble, by the way. You might know it as a scrumble, but because I'm using a latch patch, I call it a latch patch instead of a scrumble. And for most people, you would find that lockdown, for me, it's been very difficult because I haven't been able to reach any pupils and I haven't been able to teach what I'm telling you now. So, but for me, I was able to do a lot of my own work, as well as doing what you've seen already. I was able to do a lot of my own work, and I'm going to bring this to Yarndale too to show you. And this is one of the things I managed to make, which is a huge face, and it's done with a latch hook. Let's see if we can get it the right way around, and that will be there for you to have a look at. There's another one here, sample of freeform crochet, and this is one of my bird that I made. Okay, so I'm not going to be selling very much at the Yarndale this year, but I will be showing you all the things that you can ask me any questions about this easy way of teaching crochet, and particularly I would like you to pay it forward. If I can reach teachers, if you can become a teacher, teach what you know, and then you can pay that forward, and more people would have access to be able to do crochet. Okay, and so this is my book, Latch Hook Crochet for Beginners. Okay, thanks for watching. Don't know if I've got you. Oh, this is Richard. He's just learned how to make chain.
It's just.
Pardon? You're having fun?
Definitely.
Totally absorbed, he is. Very quiet. This is Pauline anyway. Having a go for the first time. Making quite a good job of this chain by the look of it. What are you doing now? Flower?
It's freeform.
Freeform crochet. Of course it is.
I think I've invented a stitch.
watching it, I'm like, this is really good film. This. He gets to about middle age where him and
Can't be any worse than that, man. Well, actually, we have to admit that we've got really good. Last 2 times we've been with him, the community's going on. He said, what's it called? Yeah, I've seen that film.
where him and
It's a tiny flag, is it?
Okay, I'm back. I'll just start there. We've just been looking how to do the stitches to join those patches together. I'm going to call those a latch patch because they're done with a latch hook instead of a scrumble. And I'm also going to show you here up on the wall. I've hung this up with some pegs, look, on the side here to show you some. This I said it was my first time, but I did practice on this, look, and you can see how it's very free form. There's big spaces, smaller spaces, and there's a centerpiece that I did myself there and put that in. There's one here, small one next to it there. And this one came out of a doily. The centre of this one was a doily. So, oh, and this bit at the bottom here, I don't know if you see this. This is freeform knitting, and it's the first time I've really done it. I haven't done much freeform knitting before, especially all this lacy freeform. So that's something else that can be done, and I'm only just learning. There's some more small ones that have been joined on there, and in between those are my lacy ad hoc sort of stitches. Okay, so that's that little snippet again, just showing you that hanging on the wall there, sort of to show you. Okay. Okay, this is Alex. Just smile, Alex. He is, yeah, he's doing very well. Oh, look how long it is. Is this going to be a headband?
No.
You wear it around here, around your hair? I had a young man yesterday, last week, he was wearing his round his head. You're going quite fast now. Well done. And how long have you been doing that? About 5-10 minutes? The
Yeah.
most.
5-10 minutes.
How, look at you, I didn't even teach you, and you're already doing it. What's your name?
Theo.
Theo! What a star! Well done. You've got a different technique there. Okay. Lucy, as you can see by her beautiful necklace, and she's very busy.
And you sorted out, well done.
Because she's out like we're going to do this, and I said this is our job.
years from the day that they decide to come.
Lovely.
But you're at program, you've got your all that sort of thing. And just recently, the family car. That's what I want. Yeah. So, again, 2 or 3 years.